Hello YouTube, my name is Drew, otherwise known as Druid Galdron, and this is the first ever entry in my new vlog. I'm 23 years old, I live in East London, England. I've used the internet for more than 8 years and YouTube for several months. I watch movies, TV, I listen to loads of different music. I have an iPod, I have loads of friends, I go out, I drink, I smoke the occasional cigar, but I will never do cigarettes or Class A illegal drugs. But basically I do most of the usual 23-year-old internet user stuff. I've gotten myself a director's account on here, although I'm not really that skilled with video. But I'll be completely honest now and tell you all that I've started this vlog to do something real with my life, to do something that's important to me. I'm a young religious man living in a British society that's full of problems, but I'm also a social liberal. I believe in a great number of things, and basically, while I'm not in a crisis of faith right now, I am in a crisis of living that faith. I'm a graduate of the University of Essex, but I've been unemployed for more than 2 years now. For most of that, I've been very unwell with depression. It's worth me saying now that in 2004, my best friend who suffered from spina bifida died in hospital. And before then, I'd been working as his carer. I struggled against the emotional turmoil for several months, as well as my mental health getting worse and worse, and my parents still pushing me to find a new job. And just when that wasn't bad enough, on June 8, 2005, 5 days after my 22nd birthday, my father died in a road traffic collision. It's torn me and my family apart, obviously. I held a deep guilt about everything for months afterwards, and continued holding a chip on my shoulder over the neglect I faced from some people who had claimed to be my friends after these tragic deaths. There were other things surrounding this, but I'd rather leave that until another entry. After all, you're only just getting to know me. My point is that through all of that, my faith kept me going. Eventually, I found a great deal of strength within my faith, even when I had reason to doubt. But what faith am I? Well, that would be telling. Let's just say I'm not your everyday religious liberal. As my name would imply, I am a druid. And I have practiced rituals as a druid, but I've also done 2 sermons in a church. But what church? I'm not going to tell you just yet. As far as I care, people don't choose their religious path, it chooses them. You can be brought up attending church or mosque or any other temple for your entire youth and still perhaps not feel that it's right for you. Religion and faith are 2 very different things, and they've both become so controversial in the last several years on a global scale, principally because of people who claim to be crusading for their religion, but at the same time have no faith. And in this case, I'm talking about every proselytizing fanatic across the board, from Pat Robertson to Osama bin Laden. Because the fact is, if Jesus were alive now, Pat Robertson wouldn't stand spending the day with him. He wouldn't be in the least bit humble around somebody as loving and caring as Christ. And if the Prophet Muhammad were alive today, well, let's face it, Osama bin Laden would have him killed. I am religious, but I want to show that not all religious people are like that. Which is why today I'm telling you guys on YouTube what I'm setting out to do. My goal is to become the first religious liberal chaplain on the internet. Of course, there's a chance I'm not the first anyway, but I still believe what I want to do will be pioneering and pushing the boundaries of this great frontier that we call spirituality. The fact is, I've been out of work for so long, and I really want to do work through my faith. But if I go through the usual channels, into a theology masters and eventually into the ministry, it's going to cost me an awful lot of time and money, neither of which I can afford. So I figure I should just use the internet to do my work. And whatever benefits I reap from it, I'll leave that up to God. I'm here to speak to anybody. If you have any religious or spiritual faith, or even no faith, if you have a problem or a good question you want to ask, then I want to talk to you. I should point out right here, rule number 1, I do not want your money. I am not looking for donations to my own cause. I'm not that hard up. My ministry can fund itself. Occasionally, I may ask people to send any donations that they can to important good causes, but I am never asking anyone on YouTube to send me money, and I'm glad I've made that perfectly clear. Every Sunday, I plan to put a new video on here, a broadcast to YouTube of the Word. What is the Word? It's whatever you make of it. I'm not here to tell anybody how to live their life. I just want to help people to live. I'm not here to save anybody from sin or fiery hell damnation. I'm here to help people. I'm here to help deliver people from abuse. That's my philosophy. I believe that all abuse is a bad thing, whether it's abuse of vulnerable people, abuse of respectful law, abuse of ideas, abuse of our planet, or abuse of ourselves. One single commandment guides my ethics, and it's not written in any holy book. Thou shalt not abuse. I don't want to force that down people's throats. I don't want to lecture. I'd be betraying my faith if I did. So all I want to do is advise and offer support. Any good chaplain in the world today should do that. And hey, look at me. I'm not wearing a priest's uniform or any clerical garb. You can tell me anything, because I'm happy to tell you every Sunday what's on my mind. I'll normally hope to focus on whatever the theme of the service will be at my church the same day, but sometimes I won't be vlogging from home and I won't be going to church. I have a busy life, but this is a bit of my life, my spiritual life in particular, that I'm putting out to you on YouTube. All I want out of this for myself is to do what I do and show that I can do it well. Over several years, my spirituality has grown and flourished. I've put it to good use already. At the beginning of this year, I did a panel discussion in London on the nature of deity. Last week, I attended a conference on religion and human rights. Now it's time to take my ambition one step further. This is a spiritual vlog for the YouTube community. This isn't just some amateur version of BBC Radio's Thought for the Day. This isn't just religious programming for the internet. We're in the age of Web 2.0, and this is Belief 2.0. I am Believer 2.0, and this is my vlog. Blessed be.